I'm on my Brighton terrace, and I have the pleasure of interviewing Dr. Irena Alperyte. Have I got it right? No? Tell me again.
Alperyte.
Alperyte, okay. And she is an associate professor at Vilnius Academy of Arts in Lithuania. Tell me about your work in Vilnius, Irena, because you are a public figure. So
Yes.
tell me your claim to fame. What you do. You say you've been there for 17 years?
Yeah.
Or was that UNESCO for 17 years?
17 years at the Department of Arts Management.
Which is under the umbrella of UNESCO.
UNESCO. And I am privileged because I am confronted the celebrities basically every day.
Right. International or Lithuanian?
Mainly Lithuanian, but
Right.
Occasionally the foreigners come.
Okay.
And
And what kind of celebrities would these be?
in the visual arts, they will be sculptors, painters, designers, animators, and so on.
Okay, so not singers or musicians.
In the other academy, where I teach Lithuanian Music and Theatre Academy, I deal with actors, musicians, and other kind of performers.
And you yourself studied acting, is that correct?
In a very, very early youth, I studied in Moscow, and I graduated as a theatre director, and I worked with school children and youngsters for a while, and as everybody of my kind of epoch, I staged the Salinger,
yes.
Rye, the Catcher in the Rye.
Yes, famous. Well, it wasn't banned, because in America it was banned.
At that time, you know, we lived in the Soviet Union, so nobody cared about the copyright, but it wasn't banned because it criticizes the American society.
Ah, okay.
So it was positive.
Yes. And how many years did you live in Moscow?
I lived 4 years, studied theater directing.
Right, how was that?
It was very interesting, and I initially didn't claim to be a serious theater director in the meaning of big names, you know. I thought that I just want to do it. I'm interested, and I will see what goes out of it. And that is exactly how I imagined it happened. I graduated. I am from the capital. I'm a capital girl from Vilnius. So
You're a capitalist.
kind of. I was kind of culture vulture.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So they didn't have a job for me in the capital, so they sent me to Trakai,
Oh, yes.
where the famous castle is.
Yes, I've been there, yes.
So I was a theater supervisor for the region.
Oh.
So part of my job was to travel around the region and see how the theater studios are working.
And when would this be?
1987.
Okay, so before independence, which was in
Yes.
1991. Okay, so how did your role change when Lithuania became independent?
It changed dramatically.
In what way?
I stopped staging dramas and I went to the arts management because I immediately understood that I won't make a single penny out of staging, and I'm not a big name. And besides, as a feminist, then I didn't know that I was. I thought that only men in Lithuania could become great directors.
Ah, so it was a wake-up call.
Now, well, kind of. I have a very, very strong intuition, actually.
A strong?
Intuition.
Yes.
Because, as they say it in Russian, I feel it with one corner, you know. I feel it with my, how do you call
With your
this?
ass?
Yeah, I didn't want to pronounce this word. I feel it. So I was feeling that, yes, it's interesting, and no, it's not going to give me anything. So I was teaching arts management. I was invited to the college to teach arts management when nobody knew what management was. It was the beginning of the business era in Lithuania. And all of a sudden in 1996, while running one of the theatrical circles for kids, I saw the announcement in the newspaper, daily newspaper, that there is a grant to study in the United States. And nobody knew that famous and fashionable word grant. So I went to the office where everything was explained. I filled out the application. The application was threefold, or how do you call it? Like 3 stages.
Threefold,
And I needed to write a proposal. I needed to pass the exam of English, and I also had to have
sponsor?
An interview.
Yes.
Because the United States agency was sponsoring.
Okay.
It was Open Society Institute in New York who sponsored it.
Okay, and how long did you...
What was the surprise is that it was my first ever grant and I won it.
Fantastic. And how long did you stay in New York?
I stayed about a year, a little bit less, because they graduate in July.
Okay.
And I got my master's.
Right.
The master is called Master of Science in Public Administration.
Sounds very important.
It still allows me to get a job in the United States whenever I want.
Wonderful.
But I didn't start.
Right.
Didn't even start applying. And part of the credits, also the word credit, was not known in Lithuania at that time because our educational system was different. So I could take 6 credit outside of my school, which was Wagner's School of Public Service. So I took it in Performing Arts Administration. Met a lot of producers and arts administrators. Visited 50 performances over this season. And brought back home, I don't know, enormous experience.
Wonderful, wonderful. What did you do with your experience?
Sadly, for 1 year they didn't have a job for me. So I started teaching English. You can laugh here, it's like ha bloody ha, you know. At the chain school, there is a chain, global chain, English First. So I started to teach English because the director, Carl Howard, was so nice that he interviewed me and took me. Because my English is still not perfect.
Well, it's pretty good to me.
But he accepted me, and I worked as a teacher, I think, for 5 years.
5 years?
Then
in Vilnius?
In Vilnius, and finally I found myself in the Academy of Visual Arts, and I started teaching.
Okay.
And still teaching.
Yes. Okay, well, we'll finish there and continue on later.
Thank you.
Bye.